Hello friends, let us discuss some significant concerns of scales of measurement. As we know, in quantitative research, data is highly significant. When the data is perfect, when the data collection method is significant, when the identification of scaling is perfect, the result will also be in that line. It will also be perfect. So, as a beginner, as a researcher, you have to identify the variables of your research for the first time. It is an initial activity that all the researchers have to do. Then what is the next? We have to have a clarity regarding what is your scale of measurement in each variable. What is scale of measurement? Scale of measurement is the significance that we are giving to every concept or construct in assessment. You know that we are assessing something in terms of quantitative measures to build your research. In order to build up your research, you require some significant data in terms of quantitative measures. Quantitative measures that requires measurement. What is actually measurement? Measurement is a significant process through which the researcher assigns a number or numerical index to a significant concern that we are going to assess or judge upon. Accordingly, we are doing evaluation on the later stage. So, when you start assessment, we have to have a clarity, what is my scaling? You will get clarity regarding the scaling when I explain the types of scaling. There are four major types of scales. One is nominal scale. Another is ordinal scale or rank based scale. Third one is interval scale, and fourth is ratio scale. So, what are the deciding factors of the scaling? What are the attributes of scaling? There are three major attributes of every scaling process. One is equal interval, another is magnitude, third one is absolute zero. There are three things. One is magnitude, second is equal interval, third is absolute ratio. These are the three components that makes or that through which we can differentiate among these four scales, that is nominal, ordinal, interval and ratio. Let me take the nominal scaling first. In certain concerns, we don't bother the magnitude of the variable, the magnitude of the assessment of the variable. For example, boys and girls in your research. As a variable, you have a sex category of participants. It doesn't have any significant role in terms of number. Boys are having 1 and girls are having 2. That doesn't mean that girls have more marks or more significance since they occupy the number 2. Or boys are 1, they are having the first rank or they are in the first position. Doesn't mean these kind of assumptions regarding the assigning of numerical values as 1 and 2. But simply for the classification, for the namesake, especially for doing some of the statistical calculations, we assign some numbers to these categories. This kind of scaling is known as nominal form of scaling. There is no clarity regarding the magnitude, there is no significance of the magnitude, no significance of the equal interval, there is no presence of absolute zero. That is simply for the classification purpose, simply for assigning numbers in order to identify or calculate some statistical indices, we are assigning numbers. That is nominal kind of measurement. Come to the second, that is ordinal kind of measurement. What is ordinal kind of measurement? Ordinal is very significant. In certain research, it is having very significance. What is ordinal? When nominal is without having any attributes of scaling, when ordinal comes, there is one attribute of scaling, that is magnitude. We are taking the magnitude of the measure. For example, I have a happiness index of different states of India. Happiness index of different states of India. For example, suppose Kerala is having the happiness index, Kerala is having the first rank and Tamil Nadu is having second rank. So, no way I can replace Kerala with Tamil Nadu. If it is nominal, I can replace Tamil Nadu with Kerala. Like I gave 1 for boys and 2 for girls. It can be distributed as 2 for boys and 1 for girls. But in terms of the ranking, that is ordinal measurement, we are not supposed to change the position. We are not having a right to change the position. The position is having its own significance. That is, it depends upon the magnitude of the presence of something. So here the happiness index. So Kerala, or the people of Kerala, inhabitants of Kerala, they are having the good index in happiness. So it is having the first rank in happiness index. At the same time, Tamil Nadu is not having that much. But we don't know exactly the quantum of the quantity of the happiness. Exact measurement we don't have. We are just classifying in terms of the order or rank. That kind of measurement is known as ordinal kind of measurement. What about next measure, that is interval kind of scaling, interval scaling. Let me take an example of ordinal type of scaling. In ordinal type, I have assigned rank number 1, 2 and 3 for 3 students of a class. So first student is having 99, he got first rank. Second student got 98, he got second rank. Third student got 90, he got third rank. So from the observation of the ranks, I may not have a clarity regarding the interval between the scoring of the students. So that is not giving proper clarity regarding the assessment. So here, when we have the interval scale, we have two attributes of scales together joined. That is magnitude, that was present in the ordinal scale. Here we added equal interval as another property. So when magnitude and equal interval joins, that scaling is known as interval scaling. That is, the independent observation is taken. Everyone is having their own marks and we are taking exact the marks of the students for further calculations and statistical analysis. Here only position is not taken into account. The complete score, that is the exact score of the students, have been taken into account. When we go for scaling of measurement, generally we use Likert scale or Thurston scale or some of the tests we take. For example, I can give you an example of a Likert model of scaling. We have strongly agree, cannot say, disagree, strongly disagree as 5 response category. If you see, there is an equal interval. Strongly agree carries 5 marks, agree carries 4 marks, undecided or cannot say carries 3 marks, disagree carries 2 marks, strongly disagree carries 1 marks. So here equal interval is given. When you take an achievement test, if you are conducting a class for your students and you are carrying out a test at the end of your class, then if you take the exact measurement, even though you have some of the essay questions, still the assessment is based on certain criteria. If it is an essay, introduction carries specific marks, some points in the body carries specific points. If somebody has written it, they will get it, and if some of the students have not mentioned the exact things, they will never get the marks. So accordingly, the specific measure is given and that is actually known as equal interval is taken into account. So accordingly, the exact marks rather than the ranking or ranks we consider here for statistical calculations. That type of scaling is interval type of scaling. Now come to fourth category of scaling, where all the properties of a scale present. One is magnitude, second is equal interval, third is absolute zero. When there is a presence of absolute zero, that scaling is known as ratio scale. Generally we go for Kelvin scale for measuring the temperature as one of the examples of absolute zero measurement. We have some other measures, the examples also. For example, for ratio scale, suppose you are a physical education trainer. Regularly you are conducting training programs for your students early in the morning. Then for the last 1 month you are having the attendance of the students. It is actually the ratio measurement. how many times they have attended. If they have attended, they will got 1 attendance. If they have not at all attended, 0, because we can exactly measure the absence of the variable. Absence of the variable is clearly measured over there. If the absolute 0 is possible, that kind of measurement is known as ratio scaling or measurement that is having ratio scale. So, let me read out again. One is nominal, then ordinal, third one is interval, and fourth one is ratio scale. Now, let us classify based on the properties these 4 variables. Nominal and ordinal together known as non-metric variable, because for the further calculations and analysis we don't use this kind of measures. For advanced parametric statistics, we are not supposed to use nominal and ordinal measurement. Interval and ratio, they are known as metric variable or quantitative variable or scale type variable. In packages like SPSS, we consider them as, that is, interval and ratio scales together known as scale type variable. In advanced statistics, we use it as metric variables. So, metric variables are the variables that are having specific concerns on the measurement. Now, again some of the examples I can give you in order to differentiate between the interval and ratio scale. For example, academic performance. I am a teacher of English and I have a test. So, some of my students got 0 marks. So, is it considered as a ratio scale? It is not considered as the ratio scale because it is relative. The 0 is relative. You have told your students that there will be 4 units for tomorrow's examinations and the student has learned all the 3 units except the last unit. What you have done is you have put all the questions, you have asked all the questions from the 4th unit. All the 3 units have been well studied by the student and the 4th unit has not been touched by the students. But your questions completely were from the 4th unit. Here, due to the questioning pattern of yours, the student got 0 mark. It is not absolute 0, it is a relative 0. If you had asked some questions from the first 3 units, he would have scored better. So, that is the difference between interval and ratio scaling. Now, the scaling is having its own significance in the selection of statistics also. For the first time, when we go for the selection of statistics, we look into the scaling procedure of your variable. Whether it is nominal, is it ordinal, how many variables are measured in interval, how many of them are measured in ratio format. Accordingly, you decide the statistics. You can have 2 categories of statistics, parametric statistics and non-parametric statistics. So, all the parametric statistics, that is advanced statistics, are all come under parametric category. All the parametric statistics require either interval or ratio scales in measurement. Otherwise, we are not supposed to use parametric test. The non-parametric tests are being used when the measures are in ordinal or nominal scale. So, what I have mentioned here is scaling is very significant in quantitative research. Before going to implement your study, before going to carry out your data collection, before going to decide your objectives and hypothesis, you have to have a clarity regarding the scaling of your variable. Initially, the problem has to be identified and then you have to list out your variables or construct. The initial step of your research would be then the identification of the nature of your variable. How many variables are there in nominal category, how many are there in interval category, how many are there in ordinal category. Accordingly, you decide upon the analysis plan and then you can come up with your data collection and proper analysis. Thank you.